What's up, bodybuilding fans? Welcome to Texas Bodybuilding News. I'm your host, Jason Martinez. If you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe to our podcast, Texas Bodybuilding News. Follow us on IG, Texas Bodybuilding News. In today's segment, one-on-one with Jason, I got a good friend of mine, Angelita, Iracheta.
Yeah.
I said it right. All right. I said. Let's talk about how you came into the sport and how did you come into fitness itself. I know you've been competing for a good while. You're pro, IFBB Pro figure competitor. But let's tell your story. How did you get into the fitness aspect of it, your journey to decide to compete and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I guess like going background, I've always been into sports, done athletics like up until I was in high school. I did get an opportunity to go play volleyball for college. However, I did end up tearing my ACL over there, so it kind of like red-shirted me or whatever. So I ended up like kind of losing my scholarship because it was half scholarship.
Where at?
It was in Temple College.
Temple College, yeah.
So I was going to go over there, got hurt over there because, man, I was just definitely not prepared for 3 days. Like the mindset of it.
Plus going to school.
Yeah. And yeah. Plus that, right? So the mindset of that, I was just not prepared for it. Or my body was just physically just not ready. You know what I mean? I guess I took my summer break a little too easy, so when I got back into the rhythm, it just ended up injuring me. So I ended up slowly later fixing myself. I went to go I had a ACL and meniscus tear, so they repaired that. And then
on one knee, 2 knees?
It was on my left side.
Left knee.
Yes, on my left knee. So it was just on my one knee. And then I saw like the process of the rehabilitation, and it intrigued me knowing that like we could do that. I guess obviously, right, there's someone helping you, guide you, but it's really in that mindset, if you can get there and believe that, hey, I can, I guess, physically cure myself or help myself get better, versus like, oh, I know it hurts and it's in pain, and I'm just gonna let it be in pain. You know what I mean? So I was just trying to like, I guess, take action into trying to speed up the process of healing myself because I wanted to just get up and go. I would say I have ADHD or ADD. We're always like on the go, so I have to constantly either be doing something or moving, or a new hobby. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that was the realm of how I got kind of into like the fitness aspect.
But you tore both at the same time? Meniscus and ACL?
Correct.
So how long was that rehab?
So the rehab was, I would say it was about 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, where I was just pretty much like, okay, I was not really able to kind of like go to the gym and like lift weights and stuff like that. Slowly walking, yeah, I got cured for that shortly after month 1. And then it was that after that, it was just being consistent really, as far as like, okay, hey, well, I know if I want to get better, I kind of have to like do A to get to point B. So I just kind of saw that like, well, it's kind of, if I apply that in every aspect, like I can kind of get to any goal really. And I saw bodybuilders there in Brownsville. Rita was one of them. Sadie was one of them. I was introduced to them because I was like going to gold, and back then that's really what we had. For like in my era, we had gold. So, and I was just seeing all these badass chicks, right? So I was like, dang, that's cool. Like, and they would lift up the shirts and like they're just like all decked out, like just abs. And I was like, dang, that's cool. So yeah, and then I would go to like competitions. I got to see Sadie compete for a couple of times, and I would drive out there just so I can go, physically see, before I kind of just was like, all right, let me just go out there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to get the experience of like, okay, what is it gonna be? Because I'm a super observant person. So like I'll sit, observe everything, and then I'll just like, okay, cool, let me try, So then well, yeah, I just kind of went and I was trying to prepare for my first bikini show because I think, well, not most, right? But ideally, we think like, okay, hey, we don't really know what category to fit in. So,
but after you rehab your knee, that's when you kind of really got introduced to weight training then? At that
Yes,
time?
at that point I
So
kind of...
before it was more athletic.
Yeah, it
you
was
know.
just more like speed, agility, drills really, because I was doing like volleyball, track. I did powerlifting in high school, basketball, just my freshman year.
So when you started, like trying to bodybuild, lifting weights and stuff like that, did you start training with somebody there, or did you kind of started just experimenting?
At Gold's?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I would train a little bit with my friends. Some of the trainers there at Gold's as well helped guide me. So that way I was able to kind of apply and stuff. But when I was first going to Gold's by myself, I was kind of like blindfolded going in there. I really didn't know what to do, as far as like mechanicals, like what weight did what and stuff. So I did a lot of research. But aside from doing that, later on, my friends would help join, or I would see them and stuff like that. And then you kind of I grew out of the fear of kind of not knowing what was what, and I just asked, you know what I mean? So I asked for help and they would help me. So I even got to I bought some sessions with some of the trainers there too. So that way I was just learning different techniques and forms.
And then you said you started hanging out with were they competing at the time? Sadie, you said? And
So
Rita?
I wasn't hanging out with them. I just knew of them.
Okay.
I was just introduced to them. So because I was still young.
How old are you?
Well, right now I'm 30.
30,
But
okay.
I guess when I first met them, I would say I was probably maybe, I don't know, it was 2014, 2015.
Okay.
So it's
21
21 maybe.
Yeah.
20, something like that. So I was still a little shy because I'm barely getting out of high school. I've always been in my little bubble, still athletic, but still in my little bubble. And yeah, so, but that's what kind of geared me in towards weightlifting.
And they introduced you to some shows, or what show did you hear about that you started going to go see?
So the shows, what's it called? I got on the NPC Texas online, and I just pretty much picked a show from there. It was the last show of the year, so I was like, okay, let's just try that one. I remember it was in Dallas, and we got to that place, and I was just like, whoa.
and for that first show, you said you went for bikini, right?
Correct.
Division bikini, and at that time, prepping for a show, it's new, right? I mean,
Right.
So is that something you hire somebody to help you with, or do you just kind of try to do it on your own on that?
So at that point, no, it was just me and there was a guy that I was dating at that time.
Okay.
And we were both just kind of going and assessing and stuff like that. So it was just really
So it was just trial and error kind of thing?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really kind of just trial and error, and seeing how I really woke up the next day and listening to my body. And okay, if I felt like, man, I really felt depleted, then we would kind of just carb up, you know what I mean? So it was just really just playing with it and just being consistent with it. And that's
how was that experience, being your first time on the stage competing in a bikini in division?
So I mean, it's very different from figure, but the experience that I had was amazing, obviously, right? Because I enjoyed it. It kept me going for more. It was fun, to be honest. I remember just stepping off stage, and I just felt proud, and you could just see everybody backstage as well, the girls, everybody was just happy, it's just a happy moment. You are finally to your goal, you achieved basically your breakthrough, right? Because I would say the journey is really throughout your whole process of your prep, and it's really gonna you can allow things to either make you or break you, but yeah, me stepping off stage, I just was overwhelmed with excitement. So,
and through the time of prep, because that's your first show, so it's something totally different for your body to do. Well, was there anything hard? Was there anything difficult for you to do that it was just, was it the cardio? Was it just the low carbs? Something because it's something new for you to do. So
I think the hardest thing really for me was, I don't know. I guess I would just, I was so hormonal. So that would probably be just my only conflict. I wouldn't say the whole cardio was a challenge, or like the not giving up
Just
food
you're
and
snapping
stuff
at
like
people,
that.
your emotions.
No, not. I wasn't even snapping at people.
Okay.
I was just more like, I was just sensitive. Like
Okay.
you would say something to me, and I would cry.
Okay.
So yeah. But nothing like, I'm not like super aggressive or anything like that. But yeah, no. It's just, I think the hardest part was just really that. But I think it just comes with time. I'm just, like I said, a sensitive person, but that's just who I am.
And coming off stage, right away, was this something that you like, man, I love this, I want to compete some more? Or was it like, at that time, it was like, I did it, bucket list, and kind of just went on your own and then decided, oh, you know what, let me try it again later or something? Or it was something like, I want to do this
No,
again?
yeah. I was like really excited. I wanted to get back on stage, like I was like, okay, man, I remember getting off and I was like, okay, it wasn't really that bad. It seems like or it can seem a little crazy, right? Because you're going on stage, you're in a bikini, you're totally getting out of your comfort zone, right? And obviously a lot of people are just staring at you, right? But it's like that moment that you just have time to just kind of display all the hard work and effort that you did, the sacrificing that you did and stuff like that. So I was really excited, and I was like, no, I was really hungry for more. So I remember I just took a few months off, and then I was like, okay, let's get right back on prep, because there was another show the following year.
And so the following year, you came in back 2015. So you did bikinis for 2 years then?
Yeah, I thought my body was bikini forever. And then, if you see pictures, my legs were just progressing and progressing. If we had wellness back then, it would have been so cool.
So you were growing. Your body was starting to grow.
Yeah. My lower body was just growing and growing. I obviously was training upper body, but I guess I was just training more lower. Well, obviously I was training more lower body than upper body, because I was trying to grow glutes and stuff like that. More for bikini, exactly, for that division. But I guess in my off season, Dita likes to eat, so I was just eating and just building. You know what I mean?
And after that, what really inspired you now to keep going and going to you? Because he's transitioned to a different division. You went into figure, right?
Yeah.
So what motivates you to keep going with this competition?
Yeah. So I remember my last show ever being a figure division, and that was my I had wanted to try it, because I was like, okay, my body, I'm just, like I said, I felt like I was just totally outgrown out of bikini. So I was like, okay, well, I'm doing a lot of cardio, my legs are not going down. I got feedback, and they're like, you can run, to lower your legs.
Burn them.
Yeah, basically burn the muscle. Or, you can just try a different division. And I went with feedback, and I was like, okay, well, I remember reflecting, and I was like, do I really want to, do more cardio? Like, I remember I was already doing so much cardio, and I was like, felt like I was eating lettuce.
Low calories, right?
Yeah, 100%. And that, it really wasn't like a challenge like for that, but like it can be a struggle if you're just totally not prepared for that. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, no, like I was like, I can just enjoy figure, eat a little bit more, have a little bit more balance, and then obviously I like to lift heavy. I enjoy eating, so it wouldn't really be as a factor. I just would need to kind of build a symmetry, really.
And you said you got feedback. Which feedback from the judges? Some of the judges told me?
Correct. Okay. Yes. After I believe it was the Della or Steve Kuklo that I did.
Your last figure. Bikini.
My last figure division, or bikini. My first and only. No, yeah, I tried figure once.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it was in 2017.
2017, yes.
And then after that is when I was like, I called it.
The previous year they told you should try figure or trim down your legs.
Yeah, they were like, you should, and that was the feedback from one of the bikini shows. Yeah, you're right. They were like, you should either switch or move, and I remember getting off stage. I was so disappointed in my figure, my figure look. So I was like, no, this is not what I imagined. Because like obviously you visualize something, right, before you step on stage. So I was like, okay, this is definitely not how I like portrayed my body to look.
And that was the Steve Klukel 2017. Your
Yes.
first figure after bikini came back. How was the transition for even the posing? You know.
It was very different, right? Because you want to be very sassy, make it flow for bikini, poise, right? And I'm not saying figure isn't like that, right? But the posing is very different as opposed to what it would be for bikini. Figure is just a little bit more structured.
Power move,
you gotta like make your presence known, like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? And not that you don't have to do that for bikini, because you do.
I understand what you're saying. I understand because
they have their own like sassiness and degree to like dominance. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. But yeah. So what led me to keep going to that was my husband, really, because he wanted to do a show, and he was like, I really want to do one. Like, he said if I were to like do it with him, that was the only way he was going to step on stage. So I was like, okay, cool. We'll step on stage. I'll help guide you, all this stuff. So that was his goal for 2020, and that's what we did. And I don't know if I put it on there, but on 2020, that's what qualified us for me to go to my nationals in 2021.
Okay, so 2017. So you took a big break.
I took a fat minute off. I took a good 3 years off. And
reason?
I don't know. I just kind of just did. I just, like I said, I was just not, I guess, satisfied with my body from the last figure, and I knew I needed to build and grow. But there was no like particular reason why. Like I guess I just didn't do it the next year or anything. And I know I needed myself time to grow.
And what did you do within those 3 years? What was the life of Angelita?
The life. What was I doing the time? I was going to school. I finished. I got my degree, and I was just pretty much working double jobs to pay for my exercise science. So to pay for school, so I was working in Victoria's Secret. I was working in Complete Nutrition, and I was just trying to go back and forth. Yeah, I was being a normal person. I was being a people person, and then just trying to finish up my career in that sense, you know. And then we got the opportunity to go and compete in 2020, and he, I guess, saw like the passion. We both did, you know, and he was just like, no, you got to keep going and try nationals.
Is that something that if you wouldn't have mentioned, like you said that he wanted to do it?
Yeah, I don't think I would have ever like probably stepped back on stage.
That's what I'm saying. So then like he's the one that kind of persuaded you. Let's get back. Okay. And what show was that in 2020 that you both prepped for?
The Texas Cup.
The Texas Cup.
Yes.
Okay. And you went straight to figure again.
I did. I tried figure and I tried wellness.
Okay, because wellness just barely started that year.
Correct. Right? Yeah, I was barely booming and coming out and stuff like that. Or I had a year or so in it. So I was like, you know, where do I fall? You know, what do I enjoy doing? You know, and stuff. And I really enjoyed figure. The flow for me was a little bit more easier.
And what did you place on both divisions?
So I got second in figure, and I believe I placed fifth in wellness.
Okay. And how was it transitioning again to prep? How was it coming back on stage? Did you prep for yourself for that show?
For that show, yes, I did. Okay. I prepped myself and I prepped him. It was...
Oh, so you prepped him too?
Yes. It was cool. It was pretty chill. To be honest, I was still, I guess, enjoying my foods that I would normally do. And like, I just like to communicate with him. So I was just trying to ask him to, hey, just try to be as transparent with me as you can, you know. You can't use the restroom. Whatever it is that is going on, I need to know, you know. So that way I know if we need to make adjustments or what's your body can handle or cannot, you know what I mean? Because what if I can handle so much beef but you can't, you know what I mean? Because it's true, or if it makes me vascular or something, you know, because different foods make you different, you know what I mean, or look different. But yeah, so I did prep myself and I prepped him, and it was cool. It was a challenge, but it was fun overall. We would get up in the mornings. He was doing his cardio, I was doing my cardio. You know, we were both like had our goals, and then we had our little one that was just there trying to come out always in our poses.
So how long did y'all prep for that show?
Let's see. So that was it was crazy because that's when the V started, you know. So we wanted to prep early throughout that year, and then I remembered like the first show getting canceled, or getting postponed or something like that. So we were like, oh man. So we technically started in the close to the beginning of that year, but with all like the rollbacks and stuff like that, we were just like up and down, I guess, in the maintenance phase for a while. And then he started more so like in August, where he's like, okay, hey, let's start pushing gas pedals and stuff, you know what I mean?
And how was the household for both of y'all prepping?
It was cool. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we didn't really have conflict. Like I said, we had he was in his own little world, and I was in my own little world, and I guess we were practicing in a garage, so we knew like, okay, hey, when he's in the garage, like that's his time. He's posing, he's doing his routine, his flow, and then we would switch, you know. So we kind of just had like a routine. So it just made it a lot easier for us. And then we had the work, you know, so in between that we were doing that.
Okay. And then so you placed second. That's when you qualified. And what feedback did you get on that, because you did the wellness and figure? What was the feedback on the judges that you get?
So the feedback for that was like I needed to like work on like posing, bringing up a little bit more of my lats and stuff like that.
But they didn't tell you like which division to go more into, or
so they won't necessarily tell you that, but they will give you feedback as far as like, okay, because I did ask for feedback in the sense of like whenever I turned pro in figure and women's physique. So I did ask for feedback on both, you know, because like I was torn in a pickle. Like again, I was like, okay, like let's stop and analyze and see where it is that Tita wants to do, what Tita wants to, you know, like, and stuff like that. So I did ask for feedback, and they said, what did they tell me? I know in the sense of like, they gave me feedback for both divisions, you know, and
because you went to nationals, the junior nationals,
correct?
Junior nationals, the USAs, right? You did the junior USAs, but you did both, right? Figure and wellness. At that
yes.
Time. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Going to nationals, they didn't tell you, well, focus on more figure. That's where you should be, or you just said, you know what, you just decided to see where you bet place higher in, or what?
No, yeah, I just wanted to go with figure.
But you did wellness too. You just like, I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah, well, because since I had already qualified for it, I had was just gonna try it.
So you did both, okay?
Yeah,
and then from there, then you went to the junior nationals, and you only did women's physique?
I did women's physique, and I did the figure.
Okay.
That's where I was like, as well, torn between the two.
Okay,
like,
so that's where you turned pro.
That's where I turned pro, yes.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry. I'm trying to read this right now. That's why. Okay, so then your first national show was after almost a 3-year break.
Right.
You did the Texas Cup, and you qualified. And you decided to go to the nationals, which you did the junior USAs, and you prep yourself for those shows.
For that one, no. For my first one, no. Yeah. I had hired what's his name? I'm having a brain fart. I'm sorry. Jojo. His name is Jojo Gonzalez.
Okay,
he's men's, from men's physique. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So when you qualified 2020 Texas Cup and you made the decision to go nationals, you're like, okay, this is the big thing. I want to see if I can get my pro card. I mean, that's what you thought, right? I mean,
right.
So then you said, well, let me hire
Yeah, because after our Texas Cup, we ran into JoJo there at the show. I had seen JoJo before because he used to compete many years ago. Whenever I started my bikini, that's when he was kind of booming. And I remember seeing him all over Diamatize and all that stuff. However, yeah, so he came up to us shortly after the show, and he was just like, asking us who was prepping us, who was doing all this stuff and whatnot. And he was from the San Antonio area, and Mikey was really interested. And so then he hired him shortly a month after. And then I went on shortly, maybe, I think I got with him on sometime in February.
Okay.
And then he helped me for about, I would say maybe 10 weeks. Because that's when the show was.
Yeah, because when was the Junior USA's?
It was in May.
May, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he helped me, I would say, for about 10 weeks, just helping guide me, guiding me. And then, well, Tita placed 3rd and 5th, and Tita was upset, and, and Tita wanted more. And
did you do anything different from what you were doing when you hired JoJo? Was there like,
my foods were different. My cardio was different. In the sense of like, I was eating, I guess, more foods like a lot of rice, and my body doesn't really do good with too much rice.
So
noticed.
you say, just hypothetically, if you would have prepped yourself, you think you would have brought a better physique then because you knew your body a little bit more at that show?
Or maybe I could have just communicated with him a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe that could have helped out too. But maybe in that sense, I don't know, it just really wasn't working. So
that was the first time you had a
coach. So it was, I guess, a little hard for me or whatever. But yeah, like I said, Tita just wanted a little bit more. Tita was upset. So, but we remained really good friends. So that's good. I just told him like, hey, I kind of wanted to like keep going, and I appreciated his time and effort and all this stuff. I try to leave in good terms with everybody, really, even my past coach too. So that way there's no conflict. I'm going to see these people in this industry. You know what I mean? So
then after that, parting ways with JoJo, you hired somebody else?
I did. I hired Dino.
Okay, Dino.
Which he is
Estrada,
from,
right?
Correct. Okay. Yes, he's a local
Texas,
as well
from
the area.
Okay.
Well, he's originally from, I believe, Puerto Rico or something.
Okay, but he lives now here in Texas.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so he prepped you for off season. What did you do with him?
So it was, I had already turned pro. I was
okay.
Yeah,
no, I'm going too forward then. Okay, so then that's what I'm saying. After the Junior USA's, you left JoJo. You prepped yourself.
Yeah. So after I left JoJo, I was like, okay, well, I still want to obviously turn pro. I needed to continue the momentum. I upped my cardio a little bit, kind of like tapered my carbs and stuff like that. And then.
So you self-prepped yourself for the Junior Nationals.
Correct, which was about another 5 or 6 weeks after that.
Oh, so it was close.
Yeah.
It was close. Okay.
So then we went, and then.
Why'd you decide to do women's physique?
Because I would guess I was letting people get to my head.
No. Tell us that, because
you
went from bikini to wellness, and then you only did wellness one time, and then you figure.
I guess because like I love the whole wellness division. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I applaud anybody who does it, because like the build of it, the structure, there's so much effort that goes into it. But I'm like, okay, that's not me though. You know what I mean? Like I cannot be like that whole sassy and that's, I love it and I love to see it and I love to see girls who can do it, but that's, like I said, that's just not me. So I tried it, but like the whole of women's physique, I let people get to my head. They're like, your symmetry is really big, like it's good, but like try women's physique, and then I was like, I really don't want to be like exploding things, you know what I mean? So like I was just like, that's really not where I want to put my category in my life and stuff like that, my overall general health.
But you did both and you turned pro on both?
Yes, I did try both in that one, and I did get my pro card in both. So yeah, I guess the hardest part in that prep was the whole the dance, or not the dance, right? The posing
and the routine.
The routine, yeah. That was, I guess, like the whole remembering choreograph and stuff like that.
So you had to try to fit all that in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Not only you're doing figure, then you're doing a new division which
with
has new posing, a routine, and I mean the look could be different, you know, and the criteria.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, women's physique, you need to be a little bit more grainier, obviously, but not too striated and stuff. So yeah, I was really blessed that show, in order to have, I guess, place first in both. But yeah, figure is where my heart is.
What class are you in?
So A open.
Class A, okay.
Yeah, because we only have like one. It would just be the open division, and then we have, I guess, masters.
But on physique, it's
physique. Yes, I was class A. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I will always be class A.
And then after that, you prep yourself. That's congratulations on getting your pro card and prepping yourself. That's a big accomplishment. You know, I mean, you know your body sometimes. You know what you've been doing it for a while. But what I'm amazed is that, I mean, from a 3-year layoff, during the 3 years, I mean, were you training just to train, or you were still like trying to bodybuild at the time?
No, I was just kind of training just to train.
So then when you came back, it was like...
Yeah, when I came back, it was kind of like all muscle memory, and I was like, all right, let's kind of get your shit together, Tita. Like, you kind of know what to do, like... You know, like, obviously throughout those 3 years, I was like, oh, just enjoying life. You know, like, obviously if I wanted to find balance or whatever, then I would have applied what I knew to it. But I was just enjoying myself and food and life.
Yeah, but that's still good. I mean, you did one show, qualified, and did 2 national shows, and you got your pro card. You know, awesome. So then, like we were talking, then after that, you said, okay, figure's my place. That's where I want to go. Now... You decided right away, okay, let me do some pro shows, or is it something you decided, let me take a time off, or let me get a new coach? I mean, what went through your mind after that show?
After a show, I generally take, I guess, a good week to kind of just reflect, and then reflect and reassess, really, because I'll be like, okay, where does my body look? Can I handle another show? You know, like, can my life handle another show? Or like, what's physically, mentally gonna be around? You know, because you do have to prep all in those, because you know, life kind of just comes unexpectedly sometimes. And I'm not saying like overthink of what's gonna happen, you know, but like just kind of just keep it in mind. You know,
well, I guess let's bring something back. You are married and you have kids.
Yes, my husband has 2.
Okay. Oh, so you didn't have kids?
No.
Okay. So then they're how old were they?
So they right now they're 5 and 3.
Okay. So then that's still, I mean, they're toddlers, so it's having, toddlers
Oh no,
at home
yeah, for sure. They were like in diapers and stuff like that. So it's been a journey, and especially Sean. Sean's been seeing it since he was in diapers, and he's like I said, he's 5 already, so he's partaking in the photos, wants to do it himself, and he does the quad stomp and all that stuff. So I'm just like, you're funny, but yeah.
So I mean, it's as I like to tell, because like, a lot of people right away, they assume that you don't have a normal life, or you don't have family, you don't have a business or a job or something.
Yeah.
They think this is all you do is full time. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand is like, you have to juggle and manage, like you said, everything, and then that's what you said, like, I got to take an assessment time. Let me see, okay, can I prep again? You know what? Let me give some time with family, because I mean, it's it gets stressful and selfish during the prep.
No,
and stuff
yeah,
like that,
and it could be taxing and stuff like that. And Sean knows he'll be like, okay, you're not dieting right now, and I'm like, no, we're not dieting right now. Like, we can
So
eat.
he's like, pizza.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah.
like, pizza games all the time. Like, if you could. So, yeah, we took about a week off to kind of reflect. And then I saw that there was a one in Texas. So I was like, okay, hey, let's do a Texas show. And so I was prepping for it. And then I hired Dino 4 weeks out of my first show, my show.
Any reason?
Life was kind of getting crazy on my end, as far as like work and like prep. Kind of me prepping myself was kind of becoming a little taxing, so I kind of was just like, I need kind of someone to help just guide me and ease off the ropes for me, ease off the ropes for like me doing it with Mikey and stuff like that. So in that sense, it helped in all aspects.
And that was actually, what was that Burness Pro, right? Texas State Pro?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how was that your first pro show? You know, being there. Now you're a pro and you've seen competitors that you probably looked up to and you saw, you know, in IG and stuff. So
yeah,
how was that?
it was really cool, to be honest. Backstage, everybody's always in their own little zone, in their own little world. I had my earphones on. I was just trying to like stay in my zone, my lane. The experience was fun. Overall, she puts on such amazing shows, bro. Like, they're so prestigious, like, and I love it for that aspect because I want to be able to feel what it would feel like being on the Olympia stage. You know what I mean? Because that's your overall goal, right? Yeah. That's why people compete, right? Or an achievement that they want to do. Like, they want to be able to go out there and be out there in the Olympia stage. So I want to be able to do shows that are going to make me feel or be a realism to what it is for me to get there. You know what I mean? So I did it. I loved it. The lights were crazy. Everything was all 100. Always like from zero to from beginning to end. So it was fun to do that one. When I went to Toronto, maybe like 5 or 6 weeks after, it was different. But nevertheless, it was a fun show overall. They had good music.
What did you place in Texas State?
The Texas State, I placed 6.
6, okay. How many competitors were that your first pro show? That
I believe there was 27 girls, if I'm not mistaken.
What did you get some feedback?
28. I'm not sure.
On your after you placing, did you get some feedback on what to improve?
Yeah,
because my thing,
I did. I was like, all right, what's going on? I mean,
no.
Yeah, I was too conditioned. That's what
really?
they told me, that I was too conditioned for the show. But basically, what I brought to the stage was good, just too conditioned. So I said, okay, well, we kind of need to like pull back on cardio and feed up a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and then that's what we did. We ate a little bit more, kicked back on the cardio a little bit more, and went into the Toronto 5 weeks.
How did you pick that show, the Toronto?
The Toronto?
Yeah, how did you pick that one? Just randomly, or just?
It was the last show.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was the last show of the year.
Okay.
So I did that one, and I was still like, I don't know. Tita was being Tita. She was like not satisfied with 6th place, so I was like, I remember getting off stage and telling my husband, I was like, I'm a loser. And he's like, what? No, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
First of all, placing 6, top 10. I mean, at least top 6 in a per show. I mean,
yeah,
that's great, you know. And I think like, because you said that you were also, you know, persuaded to do the physique, but physique was just out of the question after that, right? After
100%.
So you were like, okay, I'm gonna just do figure.
Yeah.
So then there you got feedback. Okay, you were too conditioned. Okay, then you made some adjustments and you went to Toronto. Explain. Now you said there were totally different shows. Like in what aspect of it?
Totally different in the sense of like the feel of the stage. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, like it was fun overall. They had like their own like pump up room. I guess it was just an experience for me in Canada itself. I lost my bag.
Really?
So I didn't end up getting my bag until the night before my show. So it was maybe 12 hours before, you know? So like, wow. I still needed to finish my suit because the suit was inside my bag. So yeah, could I have been stressed? A lot of factors went so wrong for me that time, but I was like, nah, like I came here with a purpose, with like a reason, and I'm gonna fulfill it, and that's what we did.
And you didn't think, okay, where can I get another suit? Where can I get this?
No, I wasn't
like,
thinking.
I'm gonna get my bag. I'm gonna get my bag.
Yeah, I was so like adamant. Like my husband was freaking out, eating everything because he will stress eat, and I'm like, bro, chill. Like if I'm not stressing out, you shouldn't stress out. You know what I mean? And he's just like, I don't know.
and you placed first.
Yes,
and
I did.
I qualified.
I was able to qualify, and we to go to the Olympia. And
but how was that, like placing first in your second pro show?
It was I don't know, it was very rewarding. It was heartfelt. Like I said, I felt like it was very humbled, to be honest, because I like I said, felt like I went there with a purpose and with a plan, and I just wanted to kind of execute. I always kind of go with shows with intentions, you know, especially since like I hate, I guess, detaching when we do have the boys, because we have 50% custody of them. So like any 2 hours away, I feel bad, or even he feels bad. So like we're just like, you know, so like I guess the time that I am away, like I try to put time and effort. So it helped. It showed that I was like, okay, I felt accomplished.
and then knowing you qualify for the Olympia, you know, you're being, I believe you're the second one from the Valley, because Bernadette was the first to go in Olympia. Now you're the second person to step on that stage.
Yeah.
How was that?
So, what's it called? It feels good, to be honest. Sorry, it's because I was thinking.
It feel better than good. Come on.
It's because I was just thinking. I didn't know Bernadette. I don't think she's from here. I think she's from somewhere else.
Well, no, she was in McAllen. She got her pro and figure, and she won the New York Pro, and she did.
She lived here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know. That's awesome.
Yeah, at the time, she lived here, but she's originally from.
I forget. It's a small town.
Yeah,
it's
like
with the H.
Yes, Hermanville.
Yes,
Hermanville. Yes.
I'm like, it's with the H.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, you're still.
Okay, cool. No, 100%.
Technically, if you live from here, then you probably be the first one.
Saying, no,
you know?
I love her.
No. But I'm saying it's like you technically, because she wasn't born here, so you're born from originally from here, so you would be the first Olympian.
But either way, it feels good. I mean, my overall goal is kind of just show people that really they can do it. And it's just going to take a lot of like dedication, self-discipline. But it's possible, you know what I mean? And the only person really that it's going to limit you is going to be yourself.
And prior to that, the Olympia, you decided to do the Texas Pro again. It was that... because it was a year later.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of just coming back, warming up.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to kind of test my water, test overall. My kids were sick around that time, so it was kind of stressful. But nevertheless, we had already kind of like set a goal and a purpose and stuff like that. So we went out there and we went to do or I went to go do the show, and it was fun overall. Were
you prepping with Dino that time, or you were already?
I was not. No.
Okay, so then Dino only did the Tornado.
Correct.
Okay, and after that, you've been on your own since then.
So I was with Dino for a while, up until I would say like the end of the summer or so.
Okay.
And it was just conflicting too many factors in my life that I just needed to kind of like, sometimes you just need to go away, or close a box or something, and just kind of move forward. So that's what I did. And yeah, so it's been kind of since then, since the end of summer, I would say.
Let's talk about your mindset.
Yeah.
Prepping for the Olympia, like it had to change, right? It had to change totally different. Because now it's the biggest stage in the world, So how long did you officially prep for that? What was you're prepping yourself? What did you have any conflict? Anything that? I mean, just explain the whole process of you getting ready for the Olympia.
Yeah. So the process of it, I had started. prepping somewhat in May, you know, where I was like, okay, hey, let's start kind of getting back into rhythm, starting cutting calories. We were prepping already, really. So gave my body a little bit of a break, time to grow, about 4 or 5 months, really. And then after that, it was kind of like, all right, let's start, like I said, starting getting a little bit more serious. Then I ended up leaving Dino, and then it was just kind of myself from then. Just different. You have to obviously get in a different mindset because, well, it's like you said, the biggest stage, right? So, just I had to kind of I did a lot of logical decisions that I had to do that I don't think myself was really prepared to do.
Such as?
Well, like leaving my coach, I wasn't expecting to do that, you know, because I thought we had good chemistry and stuff like that. But we're to the sense where it was kind of stressing out my work setting, my family environment, my work environment. It wasn't like a good atmosphere, you know what I mean? So like overall, it was mentally stressing me out, physically stressing me out, emotionally. So I was like, okay, I don't really need to be feeling all of this from one person. You know what I mean? So in that sense, like I said, I kind of had to make decisions with that. At work, we kind of had to let some people go and stuff like that too. So it was I just had a lot of things throwing at me, but I was just like, all right, Satan, not today.
I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I got a mission here. So yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, I can make excuses, or I can just pretty much just kind of go with the flow, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much what I would just tell myself at those times. Like, things are always going to kind of try to stop you, really, or life is always going to have its obstacles or thrown its variables, but it's really how you handle the situation, and what you can learn or overcome from that.
And talk to us about you landing there and going through the whole checking in and now this. I mean, you see everybody's there. I mean, you're, like I said, you're the biggest stage. Like,
yeah, it was cool, to be honest. We landed in Vegas. I have never been to Vegas. We've never been to Vegas.
So first time.
Yeah, it was my first time in Vegas. Oh my God, it was freezing. But it was cool. I remember like driving, seeing billboards of the Olympia and all that stuff, and I was like, man, like we're gonna be there. Like I just remember telling Mike, I'm like, I can't believe we're gonna go to Olympia. Yeah. Like, we talked about going, but I was like, I told you I would bring you. But he always just laughs at my humor. But yeah, it was a cool experience. And then seeing all these, like, I guess women that, you know, you see on YouTube or you see on social media and stuff like that. Like a lot of these women that you look up to or men that you look up to, like, it was a cool experience, atmosphere. They had so many different vendors as well. I remember at the expo. It was a little overwhelming, but it was cool. Like it was a good overwhelmment. You know what I mean? Like it was a cool thing to experience. And even if you wouldn't experience it yourself, like as long as you kind of like go into an expo, like that's an overwhelming experience too, I would feel.
And how did it feel stepping on the stage?
Stepping on the stage, I was just like, all right, let's do this. It was cool. Like I said, I'm very humbled and grateful for the opportunity to got to experience that. I remember stepping on stage, just trying to tell myself, take your time, you know, because it's a lot of self-talking, really, breathing, holding it together, all that stuff. But my nerves were just kind of more at ease after I stepped off stage, and I was like, all right, let's do it again, you know, like, but well, yeah, that's the goal, right? To do it again.
Yeah. So you place what you place on the Olympias?
So on that one, I remember I got second call out, so I was on the right side. I had placed 16th of that okay. I'm sorry, of that end, but of course after 16th place, everybody placed 16th. So yeah.
And what did you get some feedback? Did you bring a better package? Did you bring the same package from Toronto? Did you?
So I did not bring the same package, I wouldn't say. I was actually very sickly going into the Olympia, so it really sucked. I remember about 2-3 weeks, everybody in the house was really bad. Fever, cough. I really have no idea what was going on there at my house. But yeah, everyone was sick, so I wasn't really able to do much for about 3 weeks. Didn't go to the gym, wasn't really able to even get up and physically do my cardio. So yeah, you could tell my body looks super washed out in the photos.
So we didn't see the best Tina.
No, we didn't. We did not. And I know, and that kind of is always kind of gets me, because Mike's always asking me, do you do you want to go back? Do you know, like, where he basically wants to see where my headspace is, right? Like, do you want to go back? Like, because he knows my all wasn't given, and he knows, like, obviously I feel crushed. He's like, you still did really well, you know? And
well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you guys taking call outs, and you weren't on tip top 100%. Imagine if you would have been on 100%, you could have been a lot.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where I would fall, you know? And, like, I guess that's, like, the competitive side of Tita, right? Or, like, what if, or where, you know? So I'm like, I kind of want to try and go and do it again. Or not kind of, I do. And he knows it. So it's kind of just a matter of finding that headspace and getting myself trying to get back there.
And what let's talk about, like, a lot of people don't understand how support system is. You know, especially doing what we do. You know, explain to people what that does and help. You know, having that support system because like I said, when you're in prep, I mean, you sacrifice a lot of things. You get selfish a little bit. It is what it is. But having the right people to be unsupportive on that's a big thing. I think.
No, 100%. A team that will help and support you is definitely a must, especially on the days where you don't really feel like doing anything, you know, because you will have those days. And I'm not saying I never did and stuff like that, but I'm a person who will kind of just, if I am having one of those days, you're not going to know, you know. I'm not going to tell you. You're never going to know if I'm having an off day. And that's okay, because I'm here to tell myself, like, I'm going to be okay. And like a support system would be good, right? Obviously to help encourage you, build yourself up. But I guess I've always just kind of taught myself, like, to build myself up, really. I do a lot of reading, so I kind of do, like, a lot of reading of, like, either scriptures or things that are, like, more self-empowering, motivating. So I guess that's kind of like you can use that as a tool. It really, there's different variables that you can do if you're even a shy person or a timid person, stuff like that.
And what's the outside life? Because I know you said you own Complete 180.
Correct.
When did that start?
So we took over in 2019. Complete 180. Before it was Complete Nutrition. It had been up and running for a hot minute. I would say maybe 9 years.
Okay.
There in Brownsville. So it was just a matter of transitioning the name. The people already knew who we were and stuff like that. So basically, that's what changed. The ownership, really, it went from, like, a corporate to a brick and mortar place.
Yeah, because Complete Nutrition, that's is it a franchise?
It is, yes.
Okay.
So you go on Complete Nutrition online, that's more franchise.
Okay.
So yeah, basically Complete Nutrition had X amount of stores, and everybody who was working for them, they either were presented the opportunity to continue to be Complete Nutrition and either, like, do some sort of type of royalties, or, you know, branch off and become, like, a solo owner, and that's what we ended up choosing. So
you were working with them at the time?
I was working with them at the time, and at that time it was Brian and Mike. They ended up taking over Complete Nutrition, Complete 180, and so I was working for Complete Nutrition at that time as well.
And then you
because I've been working with them since 2017.
Okay, and then you guys took it over. You guys decided to take it over. You know, so how? So you, it's now it's not a franchise, not a corporation. It's a privately owned supplement store. And what do you guys sell? What?
So we have different things. We have supplements, shakes, our InBody 770, which is going to read overall like mass index, water mass index, visceral fat, body fat, which is a tool that we can help people get them to their goal or see whether, you know, they're following in line with their goal. You know what I mean? Because you could say, hey, I want to gain weight or I want to gain muscle and stuff like that. But we don't really truly know if you are or not, you know, because you could be stepping on the scale and the scale's going to obviously, it could read 125 if you're doing it at home consistently, but that's just going to be a little bit more detailed. We do that. We offer smoothies, shakes, meal plans, and then our subs.
Okay. And what else do you do besides own that one? That's do you do coaching? Do you do training on the side or anything like that?
So I mean, I help a couple of people there in town.
Okay.
But nothing crazy where I'm like, oh, I'm offering my services or stuff like that. It's just more like me helping them out there in town. So that way I don't know. I'm a people person. I like to try to help people as much as I can. So we have a couple of clients there that are from Brownsville that are trying to do some shows sometime this year. So we're just guiding them.
Cool. And you also you're sponsored by them because you're a company. Who else? That's another thing financially. Like you're sponsored, right? By was it Golden Corral? Who else helps sponsor you for the shows? Because that's one of the things a lot of people don't realize. Financial aspect.
It could be it could be definitely. So I would say Crunch North Brownsville also sponsor me because they allow me to use their facility inside there for free. And Golden Corral helps me out with the meals when I'm on season or on prep to just help me like take ease off
cooking.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it's super easy because I'll just be like, hey, this is basically what I need. I'll send my meal plan and they'll put it there. So like it'll be like meal 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever. And it has all my food, my macros split.
But do they sell meal preps now too, or what?
So yeah, they have. It's called GC Fit Meals. That's what they do.
Okay.
So they can either cater to something that you're either doing already, like I said, like where I turn in my plan and they do it like that, or they also offer like food choices there that I helped create. So they are like more macro friendly, but they're also like people friendly. You know what I mean? So it's like it has like your what did I make? I made pasta. I put chicken salad in there, like stuff that people would enjoy eating and not feel so like limited to what they can eat. You know, it's just a little bit more portion controlled and cooked differently because it's cooked with like low fat ingredients or stuff like that.
And what else? Who else sponsors you?
Angel Bikinis. I'm sorry. They help me with my suits. They're awesome.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because dude, the suits are wild.
Expensive.
They're like 1,000 plus.
Yes.
You know, so they help me with that. So I'm super grateful for that. Better Bodies helps me out as well with my apparel. Better Bodies, Gasp, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have right now. Complete Nutrition, obviously, right? Because I'm owned by them, but it'd be cool, or I'm always down for anything else.
And Complete Nutrition, you carry certain lines that nobody else carries?
So we have exclusivity to everything that we have in store. Yes.
Okay. What are some of the lines that y'all carry there?
We have like Sweat Ethic, Alpha Subs. With Alpha Subs is actually located here in Texas. Okay. It's when they have a store in they have a store in McAllen and Harlingen. But they are like locally owned people. So we work really well with them because, well, they're fam to us. And we work with Hype Subs, which they're from Victoria, Texas. Sorry, I was thinking Laredo. And then who else do we work with? Alchemy Labs, another Texas people. They're from Houston. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, that's good
Accent
because
Sledge,
yeah,
sometimes,
because that's good
yeah.
because you're trying to distinguish from other supplement stores that carry your basic, supplement lines. So
Yeah.
having something exclusive helps, that aspect.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, we do like to carry like the whole bucked up and stuff that, other people carry as well.
I guess one of the things right now would be, what advice would you give, especially females, to get into the weight training and maybe even compete? What advice would you give them out?
Yeah, so like that they would want to do like weight training and compete.
Yeah, because some, like, a lot of women fear weights for.
No, yeah,
So
for sure.
what would you tell them to get in? I mean, weight training is a kid, and then aspect of like, hey, I want to compete. I want to try to compete. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, so I would tell them like if they've never been to like a seminar, they should definitely try it, so that way they can definitely see what division they would enjoy doing, and it's good to kind of see and get a perspective of it in a workshop versus you doing it or prepping, like saying like you think your heart and soul goes somewhere, but maybe you may not like it, and stuff like that. But if not, then just always ask around. I think that would definitely help, because sometimes you may feel blindfolded going into these things, or may not know who to ask. So maybe somebody has done it before, or reaching out to a coach or something in that sense, to just so that way you have more like self-knowledge, or just YouTube a lot of things, you know what I mean? A lot of stuff is out there for you guys. There's so many things. But as far as like advice to go into the weight room, I would say just go out there and have fun, really. Like I said, I did a lot of YouTube videos, so that way I can know and learn and assess as far as like what can help me get to my goals, or what type of body part I wanted in mind, to help just gear me to my goals. So.
Especially now everything's online. You definitely can get a lot of information
and back then
online.
it was harder. So.
Yes, it was. It was. What keeps you motivated during prep? Because prep's tough. I mean, it's mind fuck.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. Well, I could say honestly, it's my family. Like I said, when we don't have the boys and we are there, like, and they are with us, like, just that little time, I'm just like, I don't want to miss it. You know what I mean? So like, I want them to go back and always know that they can do anything that they want. And really that the only thing that is literally limiting them is themselves. That's my take.
No, it's good, because like a lot of people, like I said, they don't think that they can accomplish something or do something.
Yeah.
And what you've done, I mean, your kids see the struggle and what you go through. I mean, they might not understand it right now.
Yeah, which
I mean, think the older they get,
the oldest probably does a little bit, because he understands. Like, sorry, I'm crying.
No, that's fine.
He understands like the whole sacrificing, getting up early, like, because he would get up early with us and watch cardio and stuff like that. He's always been around it, so he will.
He's gonna be a future bodybuilder.
Who knows? But yeah, that's what keeps me going. They keep me going.
Awesome. That's something, because they're looking at you and they've seen you doing all that. They're like, "Mommy can do it. I can do it." Yep, definitely. What's the hardest thing that you endured during prep?
I guess, let me see. I think the hardest thing is really just going to be like your mind, to be honest. Because like I said, you can have your off days, and you can have those days where you don't want to do anything. But you kind of have to remind yourself, like, you have a goal or you have a purpose. So for me, it was kind of just like, when I did have my off days, it was just like, okay, all right, snap out of it. Let's go. You know what I mean? Or my husband was there like, all right, you ready? Because sometimes it would take me a hot minute to get up. But of course, like, my body was just tired and stuff. It could be taxing. But yeah, the mojo, you just gotta have that self-reflection and the vision of why, just to help get you to your goal.
Good. And so what's your goal now for the future? You're in off season, you're trying to improve something, grow, or did you get the feedback that they told you to bigger shoulders, bigger back?
Yeah, so I am. I guess right now I'm just trying to lean out a little bit, trying to get back into the rhythm of my high days, low days, my all that stuff. I had taken a break for a little bit, and I take a break in the sense of like, okay, where I'm not counting as much. I'm still self-aware or not indulging in things, but it's just more of a mindset, like, okay, chill, and then okay, we can flip the switch back on, sort of type of ordeal.
Is there shows coming up this year that you're shooting for?
Sometime in the summer is what I hope to do. And then I plan to do one of Sheila's shows. I believe she's putting on figure this year. It's her first time ever, so I've never done, or at least since the seasons that I've been competing now.
The Battle of Texas one, or which one? Or the other one they have?
I think it is the Battle of Texas.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I want to say it's sometime in August or September.
Okay. That's not Battle of Texas then. That's another one. Because, I mean, you're trying to qualify this year, right?
Yeah.
You want to qualify? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, the summer's what I aim for, or sometime in that other show for Sheila's.
And what was the main feedback you got to bring in? Just
so they wanted me to have a little bit more conditioned abs, and what else did they tell me? More conditioned abs and a little bit more growth upper body.
And how tall are you?
I am 4'11" and a half.
How was that? Because you're one of the.
Oh, I was the smallest one on stage.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always. But I mean, I just, like I said, I'm small, but I just try to have, I guess, an attitude of, if I was like 6'1" or, I just try to hold my own, basically, because I don't let my height try to intimidate me. You know what I mean? Because it could be a factor of mine, but I'm like, nah. I belong here. You know what I mean? So I just try to go up there, hold my own, and just try to present everything that I've worked hard for.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I hope you do good this year. Kick ass and get your growth, and, good luck in your new shows coming up this year. And let's get in that stage again. I mean, that's something like a lot of us want to do, and it's tough. So I think that's one of the biggest accomplishments is just stepping on that stage for one. That's the glory that we all want from bodybuilding,
100%.
So being that, let's go for that 2-time, let's do that. I mean, and you're representing the ballot, and I think that's one thing too, and a female too. I think that should motivate a lot of people too, because I think that's one of the setbacks. Everybody's like, nah, but it's just a man's sport, or it's just, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to be single, no, you got a family, you got a business, and you're still doing it,
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need to understand is they always see the outcome, they don't see what's you put into it,
Yeah.
And that's what they need to see, that like it's work, Any last words you want to tell our viewers out here?
Just want you guys to know that you could definitely do it if you really set your mind to it. Find your purpose, find your reasoning into what motivates you and keeps you going, and don't be fearless. Don't be shy, don't be timid, ask questions, ask around if you are intrigued by anything, or if you even just want to go out there and change your life and break habits, you know what I mean? Go out there and just, today's the day, don't wait till tomorrow, don't wait till Monday, like there's a lot of people who will do that. Like, stop making excuses and, just start putting words into action. And
let's put a plug on your business. Where's the business located at?
It is located in 3341 Pablo Quisel Boulevard, Brownsville, Texas, 78526. We're right next to the bowling alley, right across from Sora Sushi.
And what's your social?
What?
Your IG?
Oh, your my IG. It is for the store?
No, for you.
Oh, for me. It is IFB. No, sorry. It's Blessed Up Tita.
Blessed Up Tita.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys liked it, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you guys go check out, if you guys in the Brownsville area, go check out Complete 180, for your supplement lines. They got great supplements over there. Again, good luck, kick ass, represent the RGV. All right. So you guys, make sure you guys give us a follow, subscribe, and make sure you guys, till next time, stay healthy. Let's get that last rep in. Peace. What's up, guys? If you guys looking for a great line of supplements, check out Jack Factory. Jack Factory got some great line of supplements. They got your fat burners, pre-workouts, essentials, proteins, Link is in description. Use my code Jason, save 20%. Go check them out. Use my link and code and save 20%. The stack that I'm using right now is a Nitro Surge Built with a couple of capsules of NOXT pre-workout. During my workout, I got the EAA Surge. And then post-workout, I got my Growth Surge and my protein. So go check them out. Use the link in description and my code Jason, save 20%.